Hi all, just thought I'd take this opportunity to talk about adjusting your chainsaw. It's idle and it's high speed running. Basically, if your chainsaw starts to bog down and sort of muck about, what do you do? How do you adjust it? Well, the first thing is you don't adjust anything. The first port of call is, look, this thing was running fine earlier. Why is there a problem now? So there's a couple of things to look at. The first one, most crucially, is your air filter. Now, if it starts to run badly, one of the first things you're likely to have a problem with is the air filter. What happens is it gets full of muck and it acts like the choke. You know, like you've put the choke on it. It restricts the air running through to the carb, and so it starts to run rich. That's one of them. The second thing to look at is your fuel mixture. Now, basically what we're saying here is we're saying your saw was running okay. If you've got some random old saw that someone's been mucking about with, yeah, good luck. But if your saw was running okay, what happened? Okay, the other thing is, and this is actually what's wrong with mine, but I just thought I'd take the opportunity to show you this. What's actually happened to mine is that I used one of those little still premix bottles, which is supposed to go with 5 litres of petrol, and I threw it into 3 litres. So what I've done is I have put too much oil in my petrol, and what that does is it weakens the mixture. Because the petrol is stickier, it won't pass through the jets so easily, less petrol gets through for the same amount of air. The saw runs, well, it runs hot as well, to be honest, but the saw runs, tries to rev up and has, you know, little power, and when you pull the throttle it tries to bog down. But I just thought I'd take this opportunity to show you how it's adjusted, where it's adjusted, and how to compensate for these things. But the first thing is, if this is you, check your air filter, put some clean petrol in and see how that goes, and then start mucking around with the adjustments. Right, I'll get it going and I'll show you how it works. Okay, first we're going to look at the low speed. Now, what the low speed is it's the mixture at idle. You've basically got 3 settings. Low speed, they're always marked. Low speed, high speed, and then actual idle. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this saw and I'm going to adjust this so you can hear what happens. Now, as I lean the mixture up, the saw's going to rev out. It's going to try and rev up. As I make the mixture richer, it's going to sort of bog down and skip. So it's going to skip a beat here and there. So what you want is you want in the middle, between the two of them, so you can get a good feel. You'll see as I adjust this now, when I start it and adjust it, you'll see, I won't be able to speak, so you won't be able to hear me. You'll be able to hear it run from too lean to too rich, and you'll see me set it in the middle. There we are. I hope you saw how that went from, as I was turning it, I went initially too rich, and then I went right back to too lean, and then I came back from too lean to running nicely. That's as simple as it gets for setting the low side. We'll look at the high side in a minute. The other thing you can do is to increase slightly the actual throttle position. Now, this isn't mixture. These two are mixture. This one is actually how open the throttle is. You know, occasionally you can just notch that up a bit to give you just a little bit more idle if you need to. You know, the further in you screw, the higher she'll run at idle. Also, conversely, if it's still running too high at idle, even when you've adjusted the mixture, you can knock it down a bit with this. So you can literally just turn the idle rate down, but not the mixture. Right, we'll look at the high speed now. It's a fairly similar thing, but at high rate. You can't really tell if it's going to try and rev out on you. Really what you've got to do is go to splutter, go to where it's too rich to run or to rev out fully, and then come back a bit, because it's really difficult to tell under full throttle whether whether it's actually running lean or not. So what you're doing now is you're going to be running this at full throttle, and you're going to be seeing when she'll rev out or when she won't rev out. Basically, you want to go and find that rich spot and then come back from it. I'll do that. I'll see if I can talk to you while I do it, but I doubt I can, and I'll let you see that. Okay, the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed that that wasn't my chainsaw. Same principle, chainsaw decided not to play ball. Basically, or didn't play ball enough to be able to show you properly, but you could see there how it really bogged down, and then you were coming back from that bogged down section, so it would rev out to where it needs to be. You need it to rev out, but you don't want to go much further than that, because otherwise you're heading to lean. So you want to find that rich condition and then come back. Okay, so where are these points on all these different things? Well, I've got me strimmer out, so I'll show you the rest of them. Okay, so we have got this one here. It's a strimmer. Basically, it's a Husqvarna, or it's not. It says it's a Johnson, but it's the same thing. Right there, high-low. High-low, and then also there is an idle down there. So high-low and idle. We have got, what else have we got? We have got a still HS45, and that's got a slightly separate carb on it. But look, here we go. High-low, there's that, and then there is the idle, and you can actually see how that idle screw opens the throttle position a bit. So again, high and low there. What else? Well, we know about this one. It's high, low, and there. Most chainsaws are like that. For example, here is a Husqvarna, old one. But again, look, high, low. Come on, focus. Low, high, and then your idle again. So it's really quite easy. So what you're doing is you're looking for that rich condition, and then you're coming back from it. Or with idle, you're looking for that lean condition and coming back from it. And making sure it can rev out okay. But there we are. The main thing to think though is if it suddenly started doing this, if it didn't do it before, you need to be looking to see air filter and fuel. Fuel will make it run lean, which means it'll rev up on its own, and choked air filter will make it bog down, so it'll stall, it won't run at idle, it'll seem quite lumpy. So you've got two sides to that there. There we are, guys. Hope that helps.